Welcome back to Tales of Yavard. We are a Mythcraft TTRPG podcast, and this is our first campaign, The Sea's Tale. I am Corey Griffin, and I am our Mythcrafter. With me today, I have Jesse.
Hey, I'm Jesse, and I'll be playing Zephyr Windwalker.
Joey.
What's going on, guys? I'm playing Ussuri Orkulni.
Toby.
Hey, it's Kobe. I'm playing Smith Wellwood. How we doing?
And last but not least, we got Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam, and I'm playing Dogen Lafayette.
On the last time of Tales of Yavard, the crew that went to the prison handled business as they should, and managed to escape, some barely holding on to life. Stay tuned to find out what happens next. Hey guys, Badger here. Just wanted to give a shout out for our very first sponsor, Baron of Dice. Baron of Dice is your one-stop shop for premium wargaming and fantasy dice. All their dice are hand-mixed with premium resin and colored dyes, then poured into a silicone mold before being laser engraved with one of many wicked symbols, and lastly finished in a matte or gloss polish to achieve a near-perfect result every time. With these dice, there are no balancing issues, micro bubbles, or mold lines, and I can tell you firsthand because I own several sets, that you can literally feel and hear the difference with their dice. Now, whether it's war games or TTRPGs, whatever your team may be, they're ready to elevate your game.
So, the image of you all running away from the prison stops dead. And then time seems to rewind backwards. At the same time that it starts shifting to this other group of people. It will stop rewinding as you all start approaching this large two-storied building. You can also see people up on the roof. You also know this to be the building known as Piety Mass. Ussuri, Smith, Zephyr, Dogen, Catlin, and Bodvar are all approaching these doors to this building. The building itself, like I said, it's a two-story building, and you can see people that are up on top of a almost towered roof. You can see where there's some, would almost call them like defenses on the roof. Perhaps back when this may have been a castle of some kind. And it still holds that little bit of grandiose of a castle, even though you know this has been repurposed as a town hall.
Fucking gaudy, isn't it?
I don't know. It looks interesting.
Yes, quite the building for sure. What seems to be the plan here, though? I guess, kind of just following along, so I don't really know what exactly we're doing here.
Zephyr just kind of looks to Ussuri.
Well, I suppose if we can just go and talk to Mason, we go and talk to Mason. Perhaps we also try and find Luna and Millie.
Yeah, do we want to do that before or after Mason? Do we think it's better to go there with the full force in case it goes bad, or?
I fear that if we try to find Luna and Millie, they won't give us the opportunity. But we can try.
I'm happy to put my hammer wherever it needs to go, so lead the way.
Hey, following your lead, boss man.
Really quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking in my inventory, and I have a war axe that I didn't think I had before, but I have it. I would like to give the war axe to Bodvar.
Okay.
I don't really have a way of justifying why Ussuri wouldn't know that he has a war axe.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Give it to him.
It was at the bottom of the bag underneath his bedroll.
Probably.
I have Iron Maiden armor.
Yeah, and Smith really wants it, but doesn't know you have it. But mentally, he's sending you signals this whole time that Smith would really, really do well with Iron Maiden armor, and it would fit his character super duper well, but you don't know that because he doesn't know you have it.
It is a hand and a half weapon.
I don't suppose that means he would get his benefit, does it?
No, it is only two-handed tags.
I don't suppose this war axe is actually a great axe, and Ussuri just doesn't know how to compensate, right?
I imagine he's doing all this, holding it in one hand, staring at it.
This looks about right.
You really want that ability, don't you?
I mean, yes, but we just don't have.
Give me a luck check. Fuck it.
You wore him down.
May I give you fortuity?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Boom! 17!
I'll take 20 silver coins and you can have the great axe.
Shit, you can have 20 silver coins out of Ussuri's direct pocket.
Yeah. No, yeah. We'll make that trade. That's the cost difference between a war axe and a great axe.
I'm gonna lightly retcon a little bit as we're heading up there.
Take it.
We're not in the building yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we're being honest, we're probably we took a minute to stop and plan and have some thought here before we just do the inevitable of walking in.
That's why I'm saying that's fine. I don't mind the moving things around.
Before we go in there, I've had this for a while. Does anybody need this armor?
Well, now, I do love me some armor myself, being a smith, so I wouldn't mind taking a look-see at that if you don't mind.
Of course. And then he'd, pull out and hand you the Iron Maiden's plate.
Ooh, spiky. I like it.
Excellent. Yeah, I should have thought to give this to you sooner. I've had it for a while.
You know, and may have just have saved my master. And he's gonna go walk behind a tree and put it on.
Oh, Zephyr feels so bad right now.
I'm just gonna let him unpack that on his own. I'm not sure of the situation, but Zephyr, what did you do?
Well, we went to fight that demon like we told you about, and his master, the one who had stopped me in the alley, I guess he was a seer? I'm not really sure. Yeah, he got killed by the demon pretty gruesomely.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to say anything with an earshot of Smith over there, but I don't think his master was gonna make it regardless. If I'm being honest with you, man was not built for combat in the slightest. Again, though, not a word to him about it, eh?
I still can't deal with the fact that he could see the future and still got absolutely pasted.
I don't know much about the philosophical things of a seer, but I think it's less about that they see in the future and more that they see fate coming. So inevitably it was destined he was going to die. He just reached the timer of death, of which, starts when you're birthed.
Well, he did leave a lot of notes stating the fact that he was dead, so I suppose that makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say at this point, Smith would rejoin up with the crew. Is there any other item swapping happening before you guys open these doors?
Not unless anybody needs a falchion or some brass knuckles.
I'm good.
Catelyn would raise up her good hand and be like, I could take the brass knuckles if you don't mind.
Oh, yes, of course. Here you go.
And she would put those on.
Dogen just kind of side eyes it the whole time. But he's thinking, what the fuck are you doing? But he's not going to say that right now. He's also been tempted several times to call her Stumpy, but also knows better.
Nice.
Yeah, because Dogen's going to get a stump somewhere he doesn't want it.
Exactly.
He's going to get stumped. Anyway.
I was going to say, is she putting the quarterstaff away? I think she had that before.
Yeah, she did have a quarterstaff. I remember because she smacked Dogen with it.
Yeah, because she hit me on the head with it.
I think she probably pockets the brass knuckles and uses the quarterstaff as a walking stick. she just has more fun things she can do with brass knuckles than she can do with quarterstaff. At least for a minute.
Quick question about the wording of Iron Maiden's plate, real quick, so I understand it.
Yep.
You may activate the armor immediately take 1d8 sharp damage until the start of your next turn. You gain the damage, whatever, but you're immune to charm, demoralized, enthralled, frightened, and shaken. Does that mean since it immediately uses it and there's no AP cost, can I use that reactively? How does that work?
With the wording of it and everything, most things that can be done reactively, even without an AP cost, say it can be done reactively. Therefore, I'm going to rule it has to be done on your turn. But it is still a 0 AP action.
Sounds good to me.
Also, I forgot Dogen's at like half hit points. I don't think we've had a rest since this morning.
Oh, he's not.
I'm at 26 out of 52.
27 out of
He is
46.
fine, and he has most of his SP. I'm good with it.
I don't think Larissa took any damage.
Larissa's not here.
No, but if she took damage, so does he.
All right.
Well, I thought it only lasted for 4 hours, which would have ended before the start of the
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
prison raid.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
But yes, so you all enter into this building. As you walk inside, you see a red, almost granite-like floor that directly in front of you, you find a green rug. Sitting on a couch that is just to the right of the door, you would take notice of 3 Kleppens. One is what looks like a honey badger. One of them is a raccoon, and another one is a like a mole. The raccoon is not Millie. As you continue to look around, you do see a door to your south and a door to your kind of southeast. You would also see to your right, beyond where the 3 Kleppen are sitting, what looks to be a small sitting room that seems to be mostly full of people. As you walk in, the mole Kleppen will speak to you. And they will say, what you want?
We are here to discuss plans with Mason about a mission he sent us on.
Yeah, what's your name?
The Ussuri.
Okay. And he'll look at one of the other Kleppen, probably the honey badger, and be like, what's the number? And the honey badger will say, your number is currently, wait, are you all going all at once, or are you going as individuals?
We are all going at once.
Okay, your number is going to be G52.
Ussuri just looks at them, deadpan. And how many are ahead of us?
Ow.
Do you happen to know where a Hondu woman and raccoon Kleppen girl are?
The honey badger Kleppen will look at the raccoon Kleppen, and the raccoon Kleppen will just look back at him and shake their head. And then the mole Kleppen will say, that's something that you talk to the boss about.
But I'm talking to you about it right now. And it would behoove you to answer me more appropriately. And I'm attempting to intimidate him.
I'll take it.
May I help him by making a menacing check behind his shoulder, cracking the knuckles.
If you beat the DC, I'll lower the DC for the intimidating check.
So we got 18.
Okay, that would have been successful.
18 for intimidating.
Yes.
Are you answering yes because you know where they are?
I know where you can find a Hondu and Raccoon Kleppen. Yes.
Where can I find them?
Upstairs.
Where upstairs?
I don't know. They just went upstairs. They had not come back down.
Understandable. Thank you for your answer.
Why
And
why you so scary?
it's just natural. What was the number you said I was again?
G2.
I will keep that down. Who will be calling for that number when we are available?
Missy will come through that door, and he'll point to the one to the kind of southeast to you all.
Are there stairs visible anywhere in here?
No.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I probably can't be wearing my crab like a backpack anymore now that it's medium sized.
No, not a medium-sized crab.
Nice.
Damn.
Crab.
But no, there are no visible stairs, and the weapon will say, well, you know what? Why don't you go through here? Just follow me. I'll take you to where there's a better room for you guys to wait. And he would hop off of the couch and start leading you in the direction of where that door that he talked about was.
Well, now, thank you for the hospitality. Much appreciated.
As you all come into this room, you would notice a long table with what looks to be 9 trollkin sitting around it, all in some form of heated debate. You would also see from this room, you would see 4 doors. One door to your northeast, one to your southeast, one directly south, and one to the southwest. But this Kleppen would continue through the doors to the southwest into what is a much larger sitting room with much nicer couches than the ones you would have seen before that are in here.
From where we came in, does the south area look like it goes to anything?
I mean, there is a door there.
Just looks like a door.
Yeah, it is a door there. I'll make sure she knows you're in here in the good sitting room.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, bye. And then he runs back through the double doors that he led you all through and heads. You would see him taking off toward the northeast before the doors close. Is there anything you all are going to want to get into?
I mean, is there anything in the room that looks interesting?
I'd say it's like a nice sitting room. So like there's a couple end tables. The couches themselves are comfortable, but it's definitely a waiting room.
How do the doors open? Are they like, do they go both directions?
So the ones to this room did, yes.
Okay. So Ussuri is going to whisper to Bodvar and have him take point over by this couch.
I actually think Smith would be standing like here. He hasn't really figured out how to sit yet with the spikes in the armor. So he's just kind of leaning against the wall.
That sounds painful.
Right?
You know that it probably wouldn't be that painful for Smith.
It might be triggering, honestly.
It's a good kind.
So the idea for why Bodvar is there, if people rush into the room to try and fight us, he will be behind the door, and when they burst in, they won't see him. And then Ussuri is just because the Kleppen said he was going to go and get the Hondu and Kleppen, he's just going to stand right here waiting for them.
I do want to be clear. He said he would go let someone know that he had put you all in here.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, he didn't say he was going to go and get them. He said he'd let her know. And that's fair. He's still going to stand here, probably leaned up against the wall, so I can move there if it makes it easier. He's going to do what people have seen Ussuri doing before, where he has his anchor in front of him, and he's just kind of standing there, cool guy-like.
Arms crossed, leaning against the anchor.
Yep.
He's just standing there, menacingly.
No, that's Dogen.
Yeah.
Probably a cool picture though. Like you're leaning against the anchor. I see like Smith probably leans up against his hammer when he's chilling. Just as we're just chilling on the wall, two badasses. Like, what's up?
If I get Bodvar's standing behind over there in the corner with his battle axe over the back of his shoulder.
And Zephyr's probably playing with his crap.
Dogen sitting there up against the wall, arms crossed.
Yeah, we're some badasses in the waiting room.
Dogen wants to punch something. He's getting tense. This is a lot of waiting around.
All right. While it is a lot of waiting around, it is probably 15 minutes. If you all don't have any shenanigans planned within those 15 minutes.
You're asking the wrong characters.
I'm just setting any shenanigans happen in the next 15 minutes.
I feel like unless prompted, Smith is chilling. Like he can get into shenanigans, but
I have no shenanigans to again, so.
All right. It's probably not too, like I said, it's probably about 15 minutes later. The door will open and a human female will walk in and say, Group G2? Group G2.
It's not like there's anyone else in here, is there?
Oh, I don't know if you're all together. I just got told G2 is in here.
Well, now, folks, come on. No need to get snippy. She's just doing a job. Yes, that's us. Thank you.
If you will follow me, please, I will take you to the room where Marco is.
Well, thank you kindly.
Then she will start heading toward the northeast.
Dogen's watching Ussuri because that's not the name that Dogen remembers him.
Yeah, Zephyr was about to.
That
was a Corey mistake.
I mean, Dogen was going to wait for Ussuri to move anyway, but
I'll take you to the room where fuck me, now I can't remember her name.
Mason.
Where Mason. I'll take you to the room.
Literally, you mixed the.
Yeah, I have so many M names that I use. I mix them up, but it's so common. Anyway,
as Smith is following through her behind her this time, I do want to roll like an investigating check just as we're like walking through the place. I'm trying to like get a lay of the land.
Take an awareness check from y'all.
It's a 28 investigating.
Awareness.
Mainly trying to see if it seems like things seems out of place because like I've heard like the families kind of does their corrupt bullshit. So I'm trying to spot the bits of corruptness, the door that's closing just too slow to see a deal go behind it, stuff like that. Like I'm trying to see any of that kind of stuff.
Would you take perceiving?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Best I could do is a sniff check. I don't think that'd be helpful here.
20.
I already did my roll of the RPs.
Sadly, there's not a lot of quote unquote business dealings happening here. I do think that's a fucking high number. Roll me a d6, will you?
You know, I usually hate being asked that by for you, but with such a high number for it, I'm happy for once. Usually And it's a 2! Let's go!
That request normally fills me with dread and worry.
All right. So with it too, you hear a little bit of the both Zephyr and Smith will hear a little bit about the Trollkins that are talking here. And you would hear Mayev is in a bit of turmoil right now. It seems like they might be trying to unify by force.
Hey, do you think they're talking about us?
I mean, I don't think I should say yes or no in this environment, Zephyr.
Oh, he's saying it like he's like elbowing you, like, hey.
Oh yeah, no, that's 100%. Like he's saying it playfully back, like it's like I'm not gonna confirm or deny these statements, but I think we might be.
You and I both know what's happening elsewhere. I'm not going to say yes or no, but you and I know the
Yeah.
answer to that.
I know you know that I know what you know.
I know you know that I know that you know that I know that you know that I know that we both know what's going on.
Not the whole. That just means ever the whole way. The rest of us can walk to his room.
All
I
right.
know, but do you know what I know? But
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to the door, and the lady's like, "Could you two shut the fuck up?"
She would lead whoever is following her to the north door. And then when you come in, you would notice 3 other individuals. She would take his seat in the open chair here. One is I gotta scroll in to remember what they are.
Really quick.
Yeah.
As we go to pass the first door, Ussuri would just like kind of do like an up nod to Bodvar, and Bodvar would stop where his token is right now, kind of by the door, and just stand there.
Smith walks in and is like, "How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?" And goes to shake all the ladies' hands. Or ladies and guys, you know, there are guys up there. They
The 2 at the top are 2 elven men. The one at the bottom is a water elemental. And as you come in here, it's like just go through the door. That door on the other side is going to be Mason.
Is Catelyn with us?
Yeah, Caitlin's with us somewhere.
Is it Catelyn or Caitlin?
Caitlin.
Oh, okay.
Caitlin Sheridan.
Sorry, Caitlin.
I've been saying it as Catlin too. So
But yeah, if nobody would stop Smith is gonna like just follow directions and go through the doors.
Ussuri's definitely like pushing the lead.
yeah, Zephyr's taking up the rear guard on this one.
Yeah, Ussuri. I mean, you're gonna be doing the talking, so.
as you walk in, you would see Mason as he is sitting in a large chair, especially considering his small frame. This chair almost dwarfs him. He has in front of him is a small desk, and in his hands, with the point into the desk, he's spinning a dirk on the desk. And the dirk itself seems to be glowing as he says, "Ussuri Arcani, see you back."
We are in record time, if I might add.
I assume you bring good news.
I have great news, in fact.
All right, where's that?
Well, that's
Oh, also in this room are 2 more elves in like leather armor and like black cloaks.
Do they have weapons?
Yes.
well, that's an interesting question. I have had an epiphany while on this journey.
Okay.
We did find the Gretchlings, and we understand why you need the Gretchlings. And I am to also understand that it is no longer a consensual and mutual benefactor between each other. You just want and want and want from them, and they get the shit into the stick. And I, over these past few weeks, have come to understand that that is the flaw with the family. And I will tell you this. I could go on about a speech of how the family isn't what it should be anymore. I could go on about how I'm going to stop all of the evil and tyranny. I could even tell you that I have had a revelation and will restore the family to its ways of old. But I know you, and I also know that speeches are for campaigning, and now is the time of action. I will ask you this one time. Will you be a part of restoring the family? Or will you work against it, like you have been? Will you do things for your own benefit and your own gain? Or will you now do things for good? You can be a part of something greater than any of us are now.
I'm
Or you can die here.
sorry. You had a good speech. I don't see why you had to ruin it. And he stopped spinning the dirk, drawing it into his hand. The family, we already control a little over half of the Tuhul Islands. It's hard to be part of something bigger than that. But I guess the mercy that I showed you was a waste. And then his voice seems to magically amplify as he says, "All right, boys, let's get to it."
Being like hostile, would it be possible to try to do something before combat starts, or is it right into it?
What are you trying to get off?
Just heroism.
Yeah, I'll give it.
And at the point that I was talking, can I have kind of moved around just one square there in particular?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
So heroism, one creature that you touch becomes rallied for the duration. Additionally, they gain 1d6 shield HP at the start of each of their turns for the duration. You can spend 1 AP on the next your turn to extend the duration until the end of your next turn to up to a maximum of 1 minute. 13.
What'd I get? 15? Not bad. The second initiative was Bodvar.
He's in there. Yeah, Movar is fucking ready out there. Oh God.
Yes, he is.
I wanted to, but there was not a good moment. I wanted to at some point during your speech have Dogen lean over to Caitlin or Catlin. Now, sorry, and just be like, "He's smaller than I thought he'd be." Hey,
Conversation as he says, "All right, boys, get him." One of these cloaked figures that Ussuri had stepped up in between slices out with a dagger. I don't think a 12 is going to hit. Yep. That will be that one's turn. The other one, seeing it's in a less advantageous
advantageous.
Yes, thank you. Position is going to move up next to Ussuri, thinking that's a little bit safer, and also stab out at him. So that will be a 16 to hit.
Still doesn't do it.
We're going to Bodvar.
So Bodvar has seen some shit, right?
Yeah.
He's got 9 trollkin in front of them. Does Bodvar think that he will be okay? Or has he taken a toll from working in the camp? Or has working in the camp given him a boon?
Also, I'm curious to ask, how did they seem to react to uh, Mason loudspeakering?
They seem a little bit confused. Like this isn't normal for them. Ussuri, real quick, what's your awareness?
2.
Okay. But yeah, they actually seem confused. Down in the people around the table.
Okay, so if they seem confused and aren't like jumping at the bit to like draw weapons and stuff like that,
They are not.
Bodvar is going to casually step inside the door and close it behind him.
Okay. These guys in this room are definitely drawing weapons.
Cool. Is closing the
people-
door a monster action? Or can he do it in one motion of moving?
I think normally it is supposed to be a monster action.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's just gonna walk in the door and he's gonna leave it wide open.
Okay.
Let's see, I was here. So he's gonna move to there, actually.
Okay.
And then I didn't describe that while he was standing
As
guard that he had the axe out. But I did have him when he was over here before he had the axe out. So can he still have the axe out?
Yeah, I'm fine with him having the axe out.
Okay. As he
moves closer to these individuals, they will use a reactive action.
Okay, so let's see. So there's that. And then if I wanted to move like there, it would be another, since he stopped and then they did their reaction.
Yes.
You're a bastard for that. Okay. Well, in that case, he is going to spend another AP and move there, I guess.
Kind
Or
of putting him, making
monster.
himself.
He's going to like push the sofa chair thing out of the way. And then the one that's is this an actual window or is this just wall?
It is a window, yes.
Okay. He's going to look at this one with a big shit-eating grin, much like you've seen Ussuri do in combat. And he's going to strike it down with this heavy great axe. Damn it.
A 7 is not gonna do it.
He stepped on the chair, like trying to push it out of the way all funky and like stumbled on his grip. And so that's all Bodvar is going to do.
All right, and then we are going into Mason, who first he's going to slice out at Ussuri himself, getting a 14 to hit.
No.
And then he stands up almost in his chair as he slices out, and he's like, "God damn it, guys, get him!" And then these other 2 hooded individuals are each going to make an attack at getting an 8 and a 23.
Will hit, yes.
It's going to be 1d4 plus.
Jesus.
Sneak attack.
Yep. For 12 sharp damage.
Ussuri is going to bear the pain on that. So he's going to reduce that damage by 7. Only taking 5 instead.
Definitely the time I would use that. Then we're going to come to Smith Westwood.
Yeah. Okay. So start of his turn, spend 1 AP to keep heroism going, and then I'm going to spend 2 AP to then spinning up the hammer. The head appears on it, and that like icy blue glow goes on it. And then I am going to spend 1 AP to take a step, and then hold over 1 AP to end my turn.
When you take a step, it moves away.
Okay.
Dogen.
Fucking finally! He's gonna move up just south of Ussuri, between Smith and this other elf.
When you do that, this other elf will take a 5-foot step.
You're not getting away from me. I'm actually gonna use wait, hold on, what is it? Hold on, I have a thing for this.
Corner.
Yes, corner. When an enemy moves more than 5 feet away from you, I may spend 1 AP to make an unarmed reactive attack, and then move to my speed. No, my speed. And because I have greater corner, I get TA when I do it. And if I hit, they're slowed to the end of their turn.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and make our swing. 13 plus 1 TA, 14 to hit.
14 will hit.
7 damage.
Nice.
Okay.
And that is with the things. And then I'm going to move here. Okay, so that
You can
was
only
1,
do that
2.
once.
That's fine. I can
Right.
only do that once too. Okay, so I spent 2. I have 3 left. So that's going to be. They're pretty fucking slippery. That's just going to be 1 more attack on them for now. And then I'm going to spend 2, and I'm going to save 1 for my next turn.
Okay.
It's a nat 1 for an 8.
A nat 1 is not going to do it.
It's the wall. He got too excited. He slammed into the wall too hard and then swung, and it was a bad swing. And that's Dogen.
All right. Zephyr.
Okay. So I'm curious. I'm gonna do the first one though before I'm gonna point at Mason and say halt. I don't think an 8's gonna beat his will. Not likely.
Oh,
You got luck.
this is divine.
This is primal.
Ooh, awesome.
I don't like that. Why was primal magic awesome?
So as the magic comes rushing at him, even though it failed to take effect, it seems that the magic was still consumed by the dirk that he's wielding, and it seems to be bolstering him a bit.
Okay, well, that helps me lead to what my next thing was gonna be. So I said halt to him. That didn't seem to do anything, so then I'm gonna point at the dagger itself and say, drop. God dang, what are these rolls?
A 9 is not going to overpower his willpower.
Why didn't I get luck points? Why?
Dude, stop feeding his ult meter.
I rolled a 4 again. It's not going to adjust his shield HP.
I pulled it out ahead of time and was telling myself to remember that I have a fucking use a charge +5, and then when we rolled initiative, I forgot. So fucking god dang it. That being said, since that didn't work, I'm gonna grab my bow instead, which is I think the first time I've used this since I got it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and spend 1 AP to give myself a guided shot.
You want to go ahead and explain what that is?
Yes. For 1 AP, I can give myself TA and increase my crit range by 2 currently. By spending, am I spending 1 AP on each turn to maintain that
Yes.
for up to a minute?
As this almost aura seems to wrap around Zephyr of this ancient elven archer.
And then Smudge is gonna stay right where he's at, and that'll be my turn.
Okay, up next is going to be Catelyn, who is going to use 1 monster action to move up here, and she's going to start swinging with the quarterstaff.
Yeah.
7's not going to do it. 6 not going to do it.
What the fuck are you doing over there?
He's smaller than I thought he was going to be. Then we're going to move on to Ussuri.
All right, so Ussuri is I don't suppose that anyone in this room, barring Smith, is radiating occult energy, are they?
No.
All right, so Ussuri is going to spend 2 AP to empower the anchor, and it's going to grow a sickly green color. So necrotic would be what type of damage?
Necrotic is a damage type. It is a energy damage type.
Energy versus toxic, which is
Elemental.
it's gonna grow like a sickly pale green and kind of give off a ghostly ethereal glow as he imbues necrotic energy into the anchor.
Okay.
He is also going to spend 1 AP to use his last bit of battle tactician, since he tried to use it on the last fight. Have we had a recoup?
Yes.
Okay, so then he actually has full on that. And he's going to declare Mason as his battlefield tactician focus.
Okay.
And then what we've all been waiting for, he's going to spend his last 3 AP to swing with the anchor. So he's got, I believe, TA from flanking.
Yep.
TA from battlefield tactician.
Yep.
A +1 from imbued blade.
Okay.
And a +1 from his family heirloom. Plus his strength. Does a 18 beat his AR?
An 18 will beat his AR. However, go ahead and roll damage. But this cloaked figure is going to impede the direction of your swing and take the blow instead of Mason.
Okay, it's going to be 14 damage.
Which will bloody that road.
All right, that is Ussuri's turn.
So now it is the people down in the southern room this first one's going to move. Yeah, they're going to jump Bodvar. He just burst into the room and started swinging an axe at them. The 7's not going to fucking hit. 16 will hit.
Yep.
And he does have TA from flanking. We'll get sneak attack off. That'll be 12 damage to both. And it's going to be this. Again, there's 4 enemies in the room with Bodvar. This is the one that got attacked by Bodvar. 7's not going to fucking hit. I think the 4th one is going to move up into the room and pin Zephyr in a corner. And I think he's actually going to try and stab at Beer. 13 to hit Zephyr.
Yes.
Okay. Sadly, I don't have tactical advantage, so I don't get sneak attack, but that will be 7 damage.
I'm gonna go ahead and reduce that with smudge.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that doesn't go through the 12.
Ooh, nice.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right. And then we're going flashing back into the room where everybody's at. Seeing this mad punchy boy just like chasing.
Is this the one that I punched or the other one?
This is the one that you punched.
So my brass knuckles have a very fun little side effect where I make an attack against their fortitude. 10 versus their fortitude.
We'll do it.
They are bleeding, and at the start of their turn, I believe it's 1d4.
Yes.
They take 4 points of bleed damage.
Nice.
Nice. Solid damage. Seeing that you're punching them with these spiked brass knuckles, they're going to try and move away.
Okay.
And flank with Ussuri.
Cool. I'm gonna corner them again. So it's gonna be another attack. Dirty 20 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
Damn, minimum damage. I'm gonna take 6 damage. And then I'm gonna move. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
They are bloodied.
Okay. And I'm gonna move here. We'll move here. Hey, you're not fucking going anywhere.
Fucking hell, you hit like a truck.
Hey. Wait, what? Whatever that is, I do.
You hit like a cart. And then they are gonna swing at Ussuri for 23.
No, they are bloodied. Does that affect anything?
For 14 damage. But that's gonna be their turn. This other one is going to. This other one's going to try and trip Ussuri. Not succeeding. They try to kick Ussuri in the shin.
It's like kicking a stone pillar, just funk.
Yeah. So that's not gonna. It's not gonna do shit. Then they are going to reach into their pack and drink a potion.
Which one?
The one up top.
Damn. Okay.
They are no longer bloody. Bodvar. Should I say
Bodvar.
Badger's character part 2?
Bodvar is in peak position. So for which one stabbed him? The dude in the doorway?
Yeah, so I think it was the dude in the doorway that actually got through to him.
Okay, so he's gonna turn around and look at that one, and he's just going to get an even shit-eating grin. That's not even a word, but it is now. And he is going to attack with his great axe. Once. That ain't gonna do it. Twice for a soft 20. Okay. For 23 damage.
He is bloodied.
And then he's gonna do it again. I don't think a 10 will do it.
It will not.
Okay. Yeah. That's some spicy damage. That's 4d8 plus 4 damage. And then he's just gonna kind of look around at the other 3 and kind of goad them and just be like, "Come at me." And then that will be Bodvar's turn.
Okay, this is going to bring it to Mason's turn. The door is effectively open at this point, and he's going to see Bodvar down there, and he's going to say, "Sick 'em." All creatures within 5 feet of his target may use a tier 1 action, so they're all going to try and dagger Bodvar. I'll add the bonuses in. It'll be 2 hits for 23 damage. Such low damage roll.
Bodvar is bloodied.
Uh,
And I also forgot a nice little thing. At the beginning of his turn, he regens 2 health.
Yeah.
I did forget about that, so he's actually at 32.
nice.
He's still bloodied
I was going to
What
say, I
barely?
think that's still bloody.
by 1 point.
Yep. He's going to reach over and touch the elf next to him using another. Oh, actually, this is a tier 2 action. And heal them for 8. So they are now perfectly fine.
God damn it, Corey.
Smith.
Yeah, Smith is gonna kind of look at the situation and then, well, now, Ham, it seems like our friends might be in a little bit of trouble. Let me change that. He's gonna take 1 AP to take a single step, and then he's going to spin the hammer and crack it on the ground, and like a chill is gonna go up the spine of all the enemies. They'll make it a magic attack against their awareness. I mean, a magic against their will. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like,
A
targeting-
15.
Okay, of who all's will?
Everybody.
Like everybody, or all the enemies?
To all the enemies.
And it lets you not target allies?
Yep. Make a magic at the will of each hostile creature.
So that will not hit Mason, but it will hit everyone else.
Okay, so they are all taunted by me. And I gain 12 temp HP.
Oh, that is fucked.
That is the sanction of the martyr. That is my class ability. I get to do it 2 times a rest. If they were Eldritch Fiend or Undead, they have a -1 to their will in case that bear is one of those.
Nope, just an asshole.
Yep, that's what I assumed. But yeah,
Oh.
I'll also raise my shield as well to end my turn.
Okay. Dogen. Yeah, no, that's strong.
Having brought 1 AP over, now has 6. So we're gonna make an attack against this guy in front of us. 21 to hit,
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
9 damage.
Dogen, he is unconscious.
Right. Okay. So yeah. So after he says you hit like a cart, I believe I don't remember if we exchanged blows after that. But Dogen will just right in the kidney. Hey,
No, you put him back.
I had to
And I'm
move
just
him
getting
so that I
started.
could do the thing.
boss man, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Help Bodvar for me.
That's 2 to make the attack, 1 to move, 1 to make this attack against the guy that's bloodied.
Okay.
That's natural 1. 2 left.
Okay.
Gonna make 1 more attack for 1 AP. 26 to
definitely
hit,
gonna hit.
Nice.
7 points of damage.
That's 6 more than you needed.
Cool. Again, and this guy, I'm
God
assuming
damn it,
was,
Bodvar.
I'm assuming was facing Bodvar. So
Yeah.
Dogen just comes up and just back of the head, just boom, and drops him. And then I'm gonna save 1 over just in case. Dogen also has a shit-eating grin. Just, oh, this is some real fucking fun, isn't it?
Zephyr.
Dropping them like
All
flies.
right. Okay.
Also,
that didn't-
he's bleeding, if that matters.
Only if you were doing non-lethal damage.
It's always non-lethal.
Well, not if he's bleeding.
Well, hey, shit happens.
You just punched him in the kidney with a spike.
Yeah.
And then you punched him in the back, punched another one in the back of the head with a spike.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
You're sleeping.
Vermin's
Well, the one that's behind Ussuri is unconscious. He used those words particularly, and it's gonna stay like that because I have plans.
He's unconscious at the moment.
That's fine.
So I'm going to spend 1 AP to maintain guided shot.
Okay.
I'm going to take 5d4 damage, get myself some spell points.
You do have one within 5 feet of you too.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, just FYI.
I'm hoping to remedy that with what I'm about to do. So gonna take 5d4, so 12 damage. Wish I could reduce that, but oh well.
I mean, all being said, that's actually a really good roll in our favor.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, no, it could be
Honestly, could have been a
worse.
lot worse. Yeah.
It's only slightly above average.
Oh yeah, so it's actually not that great.
So now with 40 SP, God, I hope this doesn't just waste it. I am going to cast Hex of Terror upcharged 4 times for 40 SP. So I will be targeting Mason, this person, this person, this person, and this person
Okay.
for an 18 against their will. And do I have my TA from Guided Shot for this?
Oh shit! Would a 16 beat the TA of would it beat the will of Bodvar? I didn't add in my battlefield tactician.
Yes, it would have actually.
Yeah, he's talking about me too, bitch.
You mean Mason? You said Bodvar.
Oh, fuck. My bad. Mason, you know, fuck.
Yes. I was looking at Mason's stat block, even though you said Bodvar. But I think that would also overcome Bodvar's willpower.
I don't think he wants to taunt Bodvar.
Please no. Please no.
But yeah, so does a 18 beat all of their will?
It will.
Then they are all broken.
All of them except for Mason is broken.
I'm guessing he's
What's
immune
broken
to, like,
again?
fear. Broken is they are frightened and shaken, and they must use all available movement to retreat from perceived danger.
So they're all going to run out of the room.
Well, not necessarily, because they're all frightened of me.
One of them cannot get out of the room. The rest of them can.
And I'm going to... I think I've got just enough movement to move right here.
Okay. Now 2 of them cannot get away. No, you cannot move through a hostile creature space.
Nope. So I had to go around, but it would have been difficult to pass by Smith.
No, I mean, you could have just done that.
Yeah, but it would cost more to squeeze in between them, basically. I think. I don't know if
No.
it would right there.
No.
No.
Oh,
So, I mean, you could move there if you wanted to.
yeah. Let's do that. Yeah. I'm over here now.
Okay. Since you got within 5 feet of her, we'll move 5 feet away.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Oh, you're chasing them off, man. Come on.
I mean, if we don't gotta kill the small fry and just kill the big guy, they'll submit eventually. Less death than all told.
Oh, I did mean to say as he cast that, what he would say for that before these last couple things got said was, you've all chosen death. It may not be swiftly. Just gonna psychologically scare the shit out of him, hopefully. And then could put Smudge there.
Smudge just walks up to the chick and just like, if this stays in, for the listeners, I made pinchy crab claw motions.
Yeah, I think that's all I can do. That's all my AP.
This one, now it's back to Catlin's turn. 3. 13 is not going to hit. Why don't I just roll? 16 will hit, and he will take that out of his Ussuri.
Mason, I gave you an opportunity. You chose to react to violence, as I thought you would. We were going to take your people out, and you with it. And then Ussuri is going to give a blood-curdling scream. And I would think this may be so loud that it even shatters the windows behind Mason. And there is one person who has maybe heard this scream through the echoes of the city. But there is also one person who has heard it. There's 2 people who have heard it. And they're somewhere in this house. But what Ussuri is doing is using his taunting death. He's going to gain 4 death points, and anyone within 5 feet of him is going to take 21 points of psychic damage.
Can't even divert that. Rogue is once again bloodied, and Mason has a considerable chunk out of him.
And that didn't cost me any AP. So now he is going to swing at Mason with the anchor for a 22
That will hit.
for 16 damage. And then,
You have your necrotic on that as well?
yes. Yeah, I'm doing 1d12 plus 1d4 plus 1 plus strength. And then as he slams down the anchor and hits Mason, he's going to pivot and slam the anchor to his right, trying to hit the elf. So this is not that. So it's going to be this for a 25
That will hit.
Damn.
for 8 damage.
Would you like to describe that kill? Even though you rolled minimum damage.
Rolled minimum damage and still kill him. Yeah, so For anyone who's seen solo leveling, particularly towards the end of season 2, there's a certain hunter who gets a sizable chunk ripped out of their side. That is what this anchor does. So as he slams the anchor down to hit Mason, he then just baseball bat swings this anchor into the elf's rib cage, crushing an arm, just basically denting the elf's entire flank.
Mangled.
I mean, we're talking organs are squished and crushed and exploded, bones pop and break, and he falls to the ground. And then, upon the fact that the unconscious elf that was knocked out by Dogen took 21 points of psychic damage, as he's laying there knocked out, you see brain matter leaking from his nose, ears, and eye sockets.
Womp womp.
And that is Ussuri's turn.
Well, there goes my last death on the kill list, but that was threatening.
This one's fucking terrible.
And then, before anyone does anything else, Ussuri coughs up some blood.
Familiar sight. What's your HP looking like?
You know, on a scale of 1 to 59, about a 15.
All right, we doing good.
Ugh, they got
14
all
more
the
than you need. You're
movement.
fine.
They fucking ganked me with those sneak attacks, man.
Oh, they just really are dipping.
I knew it was gonna hurt. That's why Dogen's focused on them.
They're the two rogues that were in the room with Bodvar are fucking taken off.
Dude, I just imagine what the fucking trollkin, like, they're just turned around. They like, the door's
The
open
hell?
too,
Yeah.
right? So they just heard glass shatter from a bear screaming. They're seeing these people fucking stab this new bear man that walks through, and then what? 2 of them just fucking book it out of the room and fucking.
I guess this one will try and run out the fucking door, jump out the window.
I have to ask: does he come within and then try to move 5 feet away from me?
No.
Okay,
This is the one that was over here, catty corner to Smith.
right.
And then it gonna jump over the corpse of its friend out the window and then start running away,
Okay, that's fine.
bringing us back to Bodvar.
How much does Bodvar move? 30. Oh. Perfect. So Bodvar is going to step through this body, not over it, through it. And he's going to walk up right next to Ussuri and nod along the way. And then he is going to attack Mason.
Okay.
Once. So he now has a +1 because of Battlefield Tactician, yeah?
Correct.
But not flanking.
No, he would not get flanking with this positioning.
So does a 17 hit
He will.
for 26 damage? That's 3 7s. Let's fucking go, baby. All right, and then he's going to swing down with the great axe one more time for a nat 1.
That's gonna miss.
The first attack made good purchase, but the blood that was on his feet from having walked through a body and crushing its chest cavity made him slip for the second attack. And that will be Bodvar's turn, but first he's going to heal up 2 points of damage, and believe it or not,
I do not.
Bodvar's no longer bloodied.
Okay, so up next is going to be Mason. He's going to lash out at Ussuri.
With a TD.
3 TD. He's got a TD and shaken.
Oh, 4 TD.
No, he is not shaken.
Oh right, no, you said he's not broken. Dang it.
Well, then
never
just 1
mind.
TD from me then.
My bad.
Okay.
I forgot. He's immune or whatever.
He is immune broken.
She's taunted by your boy. If you want to come fight me instead, he's welcome to.
15 versus.
Negative.
Likely this is one he gets to do again if he misses.
15 still not going to do it. Doesn't matter how many times you roll it.
He's gonna lash out with his dirk 2 times, missing both times. It'll be Smith's turn.
You're panicking, Mason. Make this a little enjoyable for me, at least.
You said this window's broken.
The one right behind everybody, yeah.
I'm gonna spend 1 AP to get there. I have 30 feet of movement when I'm moving towards an enemy. And then as I'm running, the spikes in the armor are gonna like kind of try to stick into me. But as they do so, a small bit of chill is gonna arise from the bodies that are still around, as the chill of their fear protects me from with that shield HP I got. Let me roll that D8 of damage I took though. To get a +6 to my attack and damage for this turn. Take 7 damage. Only half of the shield HP I got. And then we're gonna roll with plus.
How much shield HP do you have?
I have 14.
You should only have, yeah. How much did you gain from when you did your magic attack? Because you can only have shield HP from one source, right?
Yeah, it doesn't stack.
Yeah, no, I have 14.
Shield HP equal to half your awareness for each creature.
Each creature gives me 2.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, that's why I'm at 7 now after using it. That's why that ability is so good when there's a big group like that. That's why I was like, I'm gonna take 1 step to get some more, especially with this armor. So that'll give me my +6, but this will be with +6 attack and damage. Boop. So that is a dirty 20 to hit for 18 damage.
Okay.
3 AP attack, 1 AP left. I'm going to raise my shield and end my turn there. Well, now it looks like you ain't got nowhere to go.
Dogen's looking around and not really seeing much that he can do at this point. Fucking cowards. And will I don't really know what he's gonna do right now. He doesn't have anybody to punch.
He could also go after Mason.
Mason's got enough people on him. There'd be no reason. He's not gonna make it another round anyway with everybody on him like that.
I'm only
Sorry, I
hoping he
scared
makes
away
it to
all the
one
targets.
person.
So I'm trying to decide if it would be better for Dogen to run out. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. So do what? Be 2 AP to run out, to run through that other room and out the other side. At the doorway of the room with the 4 elves in it, where Bodvar was fighting them, near the table where the Trollkin were. I'm just gonna see what's going on right now.
The 2 that went running are definitely heading in the direction of the door down to the south.
Okay.
The Trollkin are definitely just looking around like, what the fuck is going on in City Hall right now?
Is Dogen smart enough to say something to these Trollkin? Or no?
That's a conversation for you.
He's not. He sees those 2 as he's moving. Okay, so I was there. So it's what, 10 for difficult terrain, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 10 for the body. Does the crab count as difficult terrain?
The body does not count as difficult terrain. The crab
Okay.
does.
Okay, so it's
It is now
5,
being a
15, 20, 5, 10, 15. So then it would be, that would be 25, 30, 35, 40 to there. 5, 10, 15. But that's what? That's 1, 2, 3. Jeez, it's like 4 AP to run up to them. Leaving them only 2 to do stuff.
I mean, if you pause from chasing after them, that broken condition only lasts if I continue incanting it, and I have no intention of doing
I mean, they're gonna
That's
run
meta, though.
regardless. Like,
So yeah, dude, they're piecing out at this point.
like Dogen himself has taken down 2 of these people. A bunch of most of them are gone. They're not sticking around.
Yeah.
They're
They're
friend
smart.
bailing.
They're definitely not.
But he's still going to do it. So he's going to, okay, so that was 5, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. He's going to run around the table, not even looking at the trollkin, eyes fixed on these two. And he's going to move south until he is within 5 feet of both of them.
When
I-
you do that,
Lord.
Use that.
Oh, he's not
immediately.
over yet.
when you get within 5
I
feet
know.
of them,
God dang.
this one will push their way through the door.
Okay.
And this one will move parallel to it.
Now Dogen will, in his mind, through this haze of combat, will remember something about somebody being on the second floor, and that is enough for him to use corner against the one moving towards the doorway here.
Okay.
And he's going to. It only costs 1 AP to make this attack, which means I still have 1 left over afterwards. No. Yes, I have 1 after this. 24 to hit,
Yeah, that hits.
6 damage.
Okay. You want to make that
And
attack
then,
with fortitude?
I will, but I also have a thing I can do. When I
Okay.
hit with an unarmed attack, I can automatically grapple a creature.
Correct.
So I'm gonna do that, and then yes, I will also make the fortitude attack. It's an
Okay.
11 versus the fortitude.
That hits, I believe. Yeah, that hits.
Left hits like the small of the back to stagger him. Right hand grabs him on the shoulder.
Don't
Bring
run
that
from
ass
the Lord.
boy.
I said what I'm not done yet.
I want to be done. Let me go.
Smash his face into brick.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's Dogen's turn.
Then we're gonna get to Zephyr.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 1 AP to continue guided shot. I'm not gonna spend the AP to keep Hex of Terror going because that would cost a whole bunch. I'm not wasting that. Dogen went that way.
Dogen legitimately is probably gonna need help soon.
I was gonna say, as much as I want to like fire some shots at Mason, like you said, they've got it.
Yeah.
So first, Smudge
Oh God, Caitlyn's probably pissed. Didn't even think
is gonna
about that.
move here, and then Zephyr is gonna also move,
Okay.
and over the heads of these folks.
Oh my god. We need to leave town. We cannot hang out in this town. There's no downtime in this island after this arc. We're just leaving,
Yeah, there will
bro.
be. Once we're done with this, there will be. We're taking over leadership.
Menaces, though. Just straight menaces the whole time. They don't think we're gonna be dictators. They'll put into some shadow government for us.
I mean,
killing
that's
all the leaders.
That's kind of what's happening. We're literally installing a puppet that Ussuri chose, knowing that guy would listen to him.
No, the dude who's going to become the mayor is the other running person who didn't get a fair chance at winning because of Mason and his influence.
Also true.
Yes. That's what our side
Both
wants them to
statements are
believe.
true.
Feed the propaganda machine.
Both statements
can
are
be
true. Go ahead with your turn.
With my TA, I'm going to. Okay, so yeah, let me add that TA in. I'm going to use Lightning Lash, and one difference that, no, really, Dogen's the only one who could see it at the moment. I think he's focused elsewhere.
Yeah.
Instead of his normal casting of it, he's firing this through the bow. So instead of an arrow, he is just, you see lightning in between that string. And lets his Lightning Lash cut loose. Oh, is it? That's a crit! Because of my crit range. So
Yeah.
Is-
You have a plus
It's gonna
2
deal-
on your crit range?
yeah, because
Because of
guided shot.
guided shot. That's nasty.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it'll deal 3 damage, and because I am finally tier 4 primal, she's stunned.
fuck. It's a fucking long range taser.
Yeah. Um,
Running for the stairs, Hondu charges by, grabs the friend. This one makes an immediate hard right turn running for anywhere else, and then gets nailed with lightning and falls over.
and I also think I'm gonna take a shot at Mason just cause doing the same thing. I feel like this is gonna go less good, but let's try it.
do you need line of effect or line of sight for lightning lash?
Line of effect.
'Cause
Line of effect, yeah.
the doors are definitely going to be.
Yeah, that line is pretty muddy. Okay, no, we'll just shoot at the
So there's also Bodvar in the way.
we'll
Yeah.
just shoot at the one that I already shot. Shoot it again. Do you want me to roll it again or just keep that awful, god awful roll?
I mean, we'll keep it. I didn't even look at it.
It's a 9 versus reflexes.
Yeah, that's not going to do it.
What does her being stunned have any benefits?
No.
I don't-
Not for that. She could
Okay.
just take one movement action on her turn. That's all she can do.
She can't even do that because she's grappled.
No,
Not
he hit
that
the
one.
other one.
That one's that one's not grapple.
Oh, okay.
It was
I
This
thought you were doubling up the.
No, Dogen's got that
Really
one. I
fucking-
just picked off.
Oh, that one's
Yeah, that's all I'm doing.
So now it's going to be Caitlin or Catlin.
You're reverting.
He's going to reach in and take out the brass knuckles and start punching.
She might hit him with a stub.
14's not going to do it.
Did you add TA?
oh, dude.
Nice.
Crit will do it. I did not add the TA, so the 15 will also hit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Catlin comes in and just she drops the quarterstaff. The quarterstaff bounces on the ground. She takes out the brass knuckles and catches him once under the jaw and then proceeds to punch him in the throat. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. This man's throat has literally burst open from the blunt damage, and she's still punching. Almost like she doesn't care about the fact that her hand is bleeding. But as she's laying into his throat, what would you like to say to this man?
So Ussuri grabs her arm, kind of stops her, lets Mason drop to the floor, and he just kneels down next to him. While he's quite literally probably coughing up blood, Mason is like, can't talk, is gurgling. And he's going to wrap his hands around. Ussuri is going to wrap his hands around Mason's throat and begin to squeeze slowly. He's going to look him dead in the eyes. You know, Mason, I've learned something about the world now that I've been outside of the family. There are even more monsters in this world than I could have ever imagined. You have the classics, various undead, beasts, and even demons of old lore, which we have found may not be so much of old lore anymore. But I have also discovered things much worse than that. There are monsters who do not show themselves, yet cause the most trouble. There are monsters who abduct children, devour dreams. There are monsters who take slaves and make them work in lumber camps. But most of all, there are monsters who always tell lies. Now, these lying monsters are the real nuisance. They're much more cunning than others. These monsters, they pose as people, yet have no understanding of what a person's heart and soul really means. They eat and consume, yet never feel real hunger. And they make friendships, or at least the facade of friendships, despite having no capability of loving. These are the kind of monsters that have taken over the family. And these are the kinds of monsters that I will destroy. Starting with you. And Ussuri will tighten his grip until the light in Mason's eyes disappear. Hey guys, Badger here. Just wanted to give a shout out for our very first sponsor, Baron of Dice. Baron of Dice is your one-stop shop for premium wargaming and fantasy dice. All their dice are hand-mixed with premium resin and colored dyes, then poured into a silicone mold before being laser engraved with one of many wicked symbols, and lastly finished in a matte or gloss polish to achieve a near-perfect result every time. With these dice, there are no balancing issues, micro bubbles, or mold lines, and I can tell you firsthand, because I own several sets, that you can literally feel and hear the difference with their dice. Now, whether it's war games or TTRPGs, whatever your team may be, they're ready to elevate your game.